Medium Ghetto, intelligent, hood conversation, so won't you come hang with the gang? Relatable topics from coming up broke to the nonsense, they all come along with these dames. From trust funds to trappin', we cover it all in with laughter, so won't you come grab you a seat? From also Othello, you know that we medium ghetto and nothing can even compete. Yeah. Yeah.
Welcome to our Medium Ghetto podcast. I'm your host, Jamar, and we got the man in the building, David Gordy.
Hey, thanks for having me here, man. I really appreciate it.
No problem. And just a background, like, how do we know each other? When do we meet each other?
We met each other in high school. Actually, Chester High was a long time ago when you think
really,
about
really
it.
Long time ago.
Yeah, man.
What, about like 10, 12 years at this point?
Probably. Yeah, honestly.
Yeah, we're getting old.
Really?
But how was your day?
It was pretty solid, you know. I mean, dealing with customers, things like that, it's always a hassle. But, you know, you push through, you keep going. Go to sleep, wake up, and do it again.
Yeah. And you're a mechanic, right?
Oh, manager now. But
oh, yeah.
I still do what I got to do.
That's what's up. How do you like the difference of being managing a business versus being like more so working hands-on in the business?
How do I describe this? Being hands-on, it's a lot simpler because it's just you in the car at hand, or you and, you know, that's your trajectory. That's it. That's all you have to deal with, you know. Being the manager, you got to deal with the customers' cars, the employees. If they mess up, you got to fix it. You know, so it's a hassle, but, you know, I like doing what I do. I like, you know, serving the customers, making them feel good, bringing them back and everything like that. You know, it makes me feel good, gives me a sense of pride, you know, and that's a good thing to have, you know. It's like knowing that you're doing what you're supposed to do is always going to be a good feeling, you know. Someone be like, hey, thank you, I appreciate everything you did for me. You know, I was in a tough spot. You know, you made sure my car's all good to go. I can make it to work. I can get my kids to school, things like that. It doesn't make you feel good.
That's good. And I know sometimes, like, the employees may, you know, work contrary to your goal.
Yes. Believe it or not, I actually had to fire someone not too long ago because they did exactly what I told them not to do. So it's like, it's a struggle. It's a real struggle finding, you know, good employees. But it's like, I'm not going to have someone who doesn't, you know, want to do the job or care enough about to do the job around. That looks bad on me. That looks bad on the company. It looks bad on your fellow coworkers. So it's never good to have someone like that. But it's like, you know, I'd rather go out there and turn the riches myself than have someone, you know, sit there and just not care about the job. Me just ship a car on and be like, it is what it is.
Yeah, that's rough. Like, you think the person you have to fire, you think they think the same? They think you like it. You were attacking them.
That's exactly how he felt. But it's been multiple times where I had to converse with him. It's like, okay, you have to make sure you look over these cars, you know, because like if I have to give it to another technician, that makes you look bad. And on top of that, you lose your pay. I have to pay that person, you know, for the job that you were supposed to look at. So
all right.
You know,
I guess he probably thinks you're the villain of this of today.
Very. He
probably was like, yeah, I lost my job. This guy fired me for no good reason.
Very much so.
I could have he didn't have to treat me that way.
Honestly, it's like, you know, I didn't treat him like harsh about it the first time. The second time, you know, I got a little irate because I'm like, hey, you know, I just told you this morning, you know, you have to go about this when doing your job, and not even 8 hours later, you do the same thing that I told you, you know, that you didn't do. Like, you have to do what I'm telling you to do. I'm not just as your manager, but just, you know, as a good employee, you know, you want to do your job so that you can continue to get paid to provide for your family.
As they should do. They should do. And just to let you know, everybody, today's topic, we're going to be talking about your villain error. And pretty much what that means is this. So you're not gonna be a cruel, mean person at this point. But what you are gonna do is you're gonna stop trying to act. You're gonna pretty much stop trying to please the people in your life for them, and you're gonna start building for your life and for your life purpose, and focus on you so you can be happy. And what usually happens when you become a little bit more, I guess you could say, self-focused, or a little bit more selfish, and in my opinion, a good way, people start to look at you as the villain instead of the hero. And the people you enable unintentionally, they're going to be upset at you. You probably see people that you help on a daily basis. They probably borrow money from you. You probably ride them to work. But at the same time, these little deeds that they, that may be small, are taken away from things like your focus on making your life better, and they might be bringing you down as a person. And I know pretty much, David, you've had a lot of realizations over the last few years, and just getting over some grieving and just trying to be a better person. But at the same time, I think you honestly are not taking ish from anybody at this point if it's gonna push you back or hold you back, right?
Honestly, no. It's like, I'm a giver at heart, like 100%. It's like, if I got it and you need it, I will give it to you and not think twice about it. I won't ask for it back. I won't hold it over your head. It's just, that's not my thing. But it's like, people tend to take advantage of that, and that's one thing I don't like. But it's like, it's hard for me sometimes to differentiate the two, but I've gotten to the point where it's like, I won't give you anything, and you deal with it. You can stay in my life or you can bounce. I'm fine either way. Like, there's only certain people in my life where it's like, I want and need you in my life, and it doesn't matter what you need or what's going on. I got you. But there's other people who are just like, you want to leave, by all means. I'll be good. I mean, sorry.
Yeah, exactly. With that being said, so you're saying you setting boundaries? Like, what kind of boundaries are you setting?
I just don't take no one's stuff anymore. I just, like, how do I describe boundaries that I'm setting? Like, if you talk to me a certain way, I won't tolerate it. If I see you constantly just, hey, I need this, hey, I need that, hey, can you do this, can you do that? It's like, all right, enough's enough. It's like, you got to show me, like, that you're worthy of, me letting you inside this boundary, me bringing down this boundary for you to, come across.
Are you helping any of your close friends with things, and they keep asking for the same, like, help for the same problem? You ever seen, like, someone just not fix it?
No, I am currently helping one of my good friends from school. He's going through a tough time and everything like that.
That's
but
good.
He doesn't ask for anything. It's like, he's appreciative, that I'm, giving him a place to lay his head and stuff. But, that's it. He helps me out around the crib and stuff. He's like, I can't, afford to, pay you for, let me stay here. But this is the least I can do. And I'm like, I appreciate it because I'm working all the time. So it's like, it gets exhausting. I don't like have the energy when I get off work to vacuum or things like that. So it appreciated.
So he's doing his part, though.
Yeah, he's doing his part. It's not always about financial help, and that's something that people don't get. Finances is cool to have them. It's cool to get them, but it's like, sometimes it's not about the money.
That's true. It's kind of about the peace too.
Yeah, honestly.
And like, I think that's the important thing about setting boundaries is to keep people like that in your life, and to keep people who just take from your life out of your life. Just the takers. He's saying, hey, I know I can't help you, but this is what I can do, and I appreciate things. And he's probably not crossing lines. No,
you just be chilling. It's just, he goes to work, he comes back. If he sees a little mess or something like that, like. Even take care of my cat. If I go away for a week and stuff, he's like, no, I got you. He ain't got to worry about it. Like, I come back, the cat's food is full, the water is full, stuff like that. And as I appreciate the small things, it's like,
that's dope.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. Because you rarely see that nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
And it's good that, he doesn't play with your time like that.
Yeah. No, he's a cool person just to, be around. We can converse, have a good time. Like last night, me, him, and my friend Jamar, we all went to the bar. We just had a good time just chilling out.
What y'all drink?
I ain't gonna lie, I had a Bud Light Lime. I think they had like E&J or something like that. It's like, I had to drive, so it was like, I'm not gonna sit here and drink something like crazy or off the wall like that. So it was like, took my little sip here and there, waited till I was all good, and then went back home.
Oh, that's what's up.
Yeah.
Well, so it sounds like your friends at least, reciprocate things.
Yeah.
Have you ever had times where people did not reciprocate things romantically, platonically, family-wise?
Oh, definitely. Like, relationships, when you're young, it happens. Yeah, you can't avoid it. And you're so on cloud nine in your own mind that you don't see it. You don't pay it no mind. You're like, I have somebody who you think likes you for you or appreciates you, and they don't. They just appreciate what you can give to them. And same with family, like, about my brother. It ain't no, like, he was one of those people. So it's like, that's someone who, we would ride out, something happened, he'd be there for me and things like that. But it was like, it got to the point where he was just coming just for money.
No,
It was like, I couldn't call on him to save my life at one point. It was just like, he was just, I need this, I need that, and like, it got exhausting. And then he was just starting to throw the whole family under the bus.
wow.
That's someone I don't want in my life. It's like, yeah, they say, blood's thicker than water, but forget all that.
Anytime with like relationships?
Yeah. I mean, a lot. A lot.
Yeah. Like dating.
Yeah, I mean, I hate to say it, but the city we're from is not exactly, bearing the greatest, of relationships and, people you want to be with that's going to reciprocate what you're, giving.
Exactly. I think, like, do you think it's like a hood thing? Like how they're taught in the hood?
Yeah, that product of environment thing is very real indeed. And we live in a very weird time to me. It's like people get happy or laugh or joke when they see you get up on somebody. It's like, oh, I got over on you. It's like, so you feel good now because you broke this person, and you feel good about that. But it's like, okay, karma strikes fast, so you're going to be broken real soon. And it's like that one person that, you could always call. It's like you want to call them when you're broken, and they're going to be like, well, I mean, sorry you down, but I'm up.
Yeah, it's like a contest to see who could show the less feelings nowadays. It's like, it's wild.
I don't get that.
I don't either. But I know for me, like, even like certain relationships, this is why I definitely set boundaries at. If you don't reciprocate now, even if, you could be a beautiful, great, like, good woman to be around, like, image-wise, you know what I mean? Very pretty, but if you don't reciprocate the energy I need in my life so I can, do more for us, then I probably won't date you.
Honestly, or I won't stay around for long at all. It's like,
I won't lose interest, right?
Yeah, for real. And it's like, I'm not going to sit here and play games. You like, know what? I'm not going to take you seriously, but I'm going to keep you around because, you're something I can, play with or do things like that. It's like, nah, it's not cool to me. It's not cool. It's like, you're wasting your time. You're wasting their time. And it's just like, I mean, you can find somebody you can grow with instead of being like, I'm just keep this one by my side by just going out and dealing with other girls. It's like, you're never going to leave yourself that open opportunity to find someone that you're going to grow with.
Exactly. Part of the villain era is setting those boundaries, removing the people who do not reciprocate so you can make room for the people who will. I know I got one of my good friends, Brian, he's a really good example of removing the wrong type of people. Me and him often talk about it, but he removed a great amount of the wrong type of people and he let the right type of people in. Now his environment is much better and he's just getting a lot more from his environment instead of just having shortcomings from his environment. Like for example, living in Chester, things like hanging out with certain people cause drama. And this drama could lead to anything from eviction from your home, from too much going on. Now you got a hot home. Someone dies. I remember one time one of our brothers, he bought in the guy that's been stealing from everybody in the hood. He bought this dude in.
Oof, that's rough.
That's a bad job.
That's rough.
I didn't know this. It's funny because he had the same name as my brother. He had the same name. And he's just been stealing. He stole my other brother's laptop. My brothers got into a fight. Broke the walls. Guess what? They live in my mom's house. So guess who had to pay for it? My mom.
Oh, Lord.
Woo, great. And at this point, I was already out the house. So I didn't have to deal with this, but it was too much to see. Fast forward, this other person with the same name as my brother was murdered.
Oh, wow.
And the thing about it too, right? It was the fact that this person and the people whose life he was close to, he's just been stealing from everybody. He's been stealing for his family. He's been stealing from so many people that trusted him, almost like he just was kind of just forgotten. And even his girl, like, at that time, like, nobody wanted to help because your boy was a thief.
Yeah, that's honestly disgusting. Thievery is really disgusting. It's like, I get, from an extent, I get you gotta do what you gotta do, but you ain't gotta steal from nobody.
Yeah,
There's so many other
crazy
ways to make money, especially in this time. You can do drop shifting. You can do DoorDash. You can literally, all right, get your money up, get a car, go do Uber, go do something. There's always someone hiring, and it's like everybody wants to take the easy way out nowadays. It's like no one really knows how to make an honest dollar, or they don't want to because it's not coming quick enough.
It's not. It's definitely not quick enough in the hood.
Yeah,
and like you guys, shorties like only want to mess with you for the bread. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like if you don't give them the bread, and the bread's not for anything that's going to help them and build their future. The bread's for this instant gratification.
Yeah.
They get mad if they don't get mad if they don't get weed. Don't get mad. They'll get mad if they don't get the alcohol at a young age. They can't get new clothes. They get upset instead of being out here hustling on their own and providing.
Honestly,
I don't know where this mindset's coming from, but it's a survival mode, and I think many of us from the hood, we're in a survival mode. You know what I mean?
Yeah. On that topic, I see a lot of dudes doing that now too. It's like, what's going on? Y'all don't like, what is up with y'all? Y'all don't want to work? Y'all rather live off of somebody like y'all woman? That I will never understand.
Definitely not. Big dudes are big time not reciprocating and from the hood, and it's crazy because I don't know how they dating these ladies with a college degree, a great job, can pay on their own, and these guys are just taking. They're having kids with them, and they're just taking. From when it comes from like just taking peace, taking income, taking opportunities from them.
Yeah,
bringing in things that could hurt their family, like drugs, violence, alcohol. It's a lot of stuff that's not. But again, if you're in the villain era, right, you would protect yourself from this, and you would remove that type of person, even if they were close and it would hurt you at first.
Yeah.
So if you remove that guy, he might be like, man, you never cared about me. It's about such and such. But at the end of the day, you're not helping her at all, and you're just really just a plague in her life. And it's better if you're not there, so you can make room for something that's good for her in her life.
But something like that we have to understand as humans is like, we don't want to feel that hurt. Those feelings, feelings are deep. They're real. You don't want to feel that hurt. So it's like you put up with the BS. You pull up with the, someone taking advantage of you stuff. It's like, because you don't want to feel hurt. It's like, yeah, it's temporary happiness because you see the smile on their face, you get that little sense of gratification. Yeah, I did that for them. But it's like, to a certain extent, it's like it's easier to deal with the hurt because you don't know what's going to happen.
That's true. You get you get used to getting hurt, and it's more convenient. You can predict it.
Yeah,
it's more scarier to live an unpredictable life than a predictable one.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like just not letting the dude go. Also, the guy, like when you let someone go, they might play the victim. You ever was like, yo, we can't do this no more, and they're like, oh, you used me, you did this, and they just play the victim.
Yeah,
and whoever can play the biggest victim usually wins that argument.
Exactly. It's like y'all want, you want the little hugs and everything, and forget him, sis, forget her, bro, and stuff like that from people who really don't care about you. In all honesty, yeah, they see you hurting on Facebook and stuff, but it's like it's gossip for them to. Hey, you heard what happened to sis? You heard what happened to bro? And it's like, it's gossip to them. It's like, yeah, they're comforting you right now, but it's like, soon as that conversation ends, they go into their best friend, they laughing at you, like, oh, I told you, I told them that, like, it's odd. We live in a very, very odd world.
Very, very odd. And it's crazy because once you start focusing on you and your life starts changing, that's when people start coming at you as you're the worst person ever.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, you think you big stuff. You think you this. You ever happened to you? You start paying. You start getting debt free. Where looking good, getting your health together. Everybody's like, oh man, you don't care about us. You bougie now.
I mean,
you forgot about us.
It is what it is. At the end of the day, it's like sometimes, not even sometimes, all the time, you should honestly do what's best for you.
That is true.
You're the only person that can live your life. It's like sometimes you gotta walk it alone. You honestly have to walk alone. And it's hard, because loneliness is scary. It's a very scary thing, but I mean, it's easier.
Yeah, some people would really just go through the pain and the drama to not be lonely. But that's just part of like having low self-esteem. I remember I'm listening to this audiobook right now about the science of high self-esteem or psychology of high self-esteem, and it talks about the main reason so many people have low self-esteem in society is because one, they don't have any self-acceptance of who they are, and the other thing is like we look at being selfish as a bad thing. We are literally taught and made to believe that serving the greater good over yourself, and the greater good could be your parents, it could be your spouse. And these people now have an expectation of, if you do not serve me, then you are kind of against me. And they'll treat you as so. Like, just like relationship wise, you were at someone you was dating, and you started out serving them. You know what I mean? You start out everything being for them, and as soon as you stop and you start worrying about yourself, what happens?
It went to shit.
Exactly.
I'll never forget. It's like I was young. I was probably 18. And it was it was 18. I just graduated Chester High, and I was going to Wild Tech for college next year. I had Stanford at the time, and I explained to her, I'm like, look, I'm going to go to college to better myself. If you stick around, this could be better for me and you. And it was just, deep down, I had that pit in my stomach. It was like, this isn't going to work. Something's definitely going to happen. And sure as shit, something happened. But hey, I mean, end of the day, I guess it turned out better for me because it was like in the long run, in hindsight, after everything was said and done, I had time to sit back and think about it. It was like, me and her weren't going to work. We're from two totally different worlds, It's like, I want to grow. You want to stay where you're at. And it's not good enough.
How many people that just stayed though, and was like, yo, I don't need school. We can figure this out together.
I know a lot of people like that, and it's like some people, they're doing well, but there's a lot more people who just aren't because they got comfortable in their day to day, or collecting that just the paycheck, just to live paycheck to paycheck, and which is like if that's what you want to do, then that's what you want to do. No shame, no harm, no foul. It's all good. But it's like,
as long as you're okay with it.
Yeah, I mean, as long as you're comfortable with the lifestyle you live in, that's fine. But it's like, I feel like everybody in the long run should want to grow. You should truly want to do more.
And get better, right?
Yeah, I mean, because there's barriers, things like that, and it's like, I feel like I can never get over this hurdle. It's like, you will. You just gotta focus, but it's like it's hard to focus when everything's bearing down, or it just seems like it's unachievable.
I feel you on that one. I think the crazy part is like one of the things about tapping into this whole villain era thing too is like what we're talking about is like indulging in your own interests. Would you ever hear like people got relationships and they be like, well, I don't know what I like anymore? Yeah,
because they're so tuned to what y'all liked together. It's like, I don't know my own interest. I don't know, like, and I've been in situations like that. I'll admit, it's like I did a relationship with him. It's like, I don't know what to do with myself because I don't know if I like playing games or watching anime or reading or reading books or just going to the park. The only thing I knew that I enjoyed for myself and no one could take from me is getting in my car and going for a long drive.
That's what you like?
Yeah, and to this day, I will gladly still get in that car. I don't care how much gas is. I really don't care.
Gas was like $5 at one point. Like, damn.
And that's why I got that little Honda instead of Expedition, because it was like, but still, I'm gonna drive something to cool my mind.
Yo, that's very important because like indulging in self-interest is very important. Like, even though people are gonna like, oh, well, you do this for yourself, you do this thing yourself. Like, just doing self-care, going on trips. Like, one of my bucket lists is to go to all the states. So I gotta start being like, hey yo, like how much money I gotta save, and what that means for me is, yo, I can't be giving out money because I need this so I can live my life how I want to live. Like, I want to go to all the states. I want to travel like and see most of the continents, the safe ones, right?
Yeah,
that's the safe continents.
Yeah, let's stay out of Arkansas, my guy.
Yeah, buddy. Or I think Mexico's going at it too.
Yeah, like, I mean that's the world though. It's like there's nowhere that's really safe anymore.
Yeah, that's wild. Especially like we probably look like Americans over there or something. But what my point is just like getting to know yourself and figuring out what you like. Like sometimes you need that time to yourself, and time to yourself isn't just about being in the house. Go out by yourself. I remember when I was done with a long-term relationship, I went out by myself. I would drive by somewhere by myself. I would go to parties by myself. I wouldn't call nobody to come with me. I would even do like events and like festivals and things by myself. And I figured out what I liked, and then I also met some really good people because it kept me out my comfort zone, and to find people with similar interests in me. Because growing up, if you just keep working, you just never get to meet nobody who likes stuff like you.
And that's where I honestly truly struggle. Is like, I don't know. I'm just so accustomed to working that self-care has never been a thing to me. I've never really paid it no mind. Like when I guess self-care became a big thing, I just never understood. I'm like, what is self-care? It's like, and it's it's something I struggle with. It's like, I mean, my self-care, like I say, just getting in the car, driving, find my mood and stuff like that. But it's like, I've never really, anywhere that requires a plane or a long bus ride, I've never been. If I can't get there by car like in a reasonable time, I'm probably not gonna go.
So you're not gonna go like to Florida?
I mean, I've been there as a kid, but it's like I'm getting to a place where it's like, dude, I turn 30 tomorrow. So it's like I'm not gonna sit here and just live in my little bubble forever of what's safe, what I can get to by car. I'm gonna get out there, like I'm gonna get on a plane, I'm gonna do this, do that, and things like that, that I've just feared doing or just had zero interest in doing. Because like, yeah, I don't have interest in doing it now, but when I get to where I'm going, I'm gonna probably find something that's gonna make me want to come back again and again and again and stuff like that. And it's break the habit of being in my bubble.
Yep, very well. And I think that's very important, because how you gonna know what you like to do if you never do stuff that you haven't tried before?
You won't. I mean, that's the hard part, is like, just breaking the cycle.
Yeah, and I think the biggest thing reference I have for it is like, it's a good book too. It's like The Denial of Death, and the reason why a lot of us are not going to have fun, not going out to have fun, getting to know ourselves, and enjoying our life at a higher pace is that we are in denial of that we're going to die one day. You know what I mean? We're denial of the YOLO. We really are working like we have millions of years to live here, and we're not enjoying our life because of that.
That's very true. And it's like, I mean, I'll tell people all the time, it's like, go have fun, go do this, go do that. You only live one life short, but I ain't acting like it. I'm not acting like
working like you got like an extra 200 years over here.
Honestly.
Like, you know what? For the first, you're not Dracula. You're not Dracula and the vampires, and they live for hundreds of years, and you see, they got castles.
Honestly, it's like, I don't know, I just find myself working just to try to stay ahead. Is like, as far as like a goal of having I don't really have the interest of owning a home, because it's like all the things that come behind it, like repairs and taxes and things like that. So it's like I've always been comfortable with just having my little apartment, my more cars than I honestly need at this point. I really need to take care of that.
How many cars you got now?
Right now I got like 5, honestly.
So is like repairing cars, like, is that really one of your interests too? You like doing?
Yeah. Honestly, that's probably. Nah, that is no problem. That is my true passion. It's like, if you were to go in my living room, my one wall is just full of car parts.
Like, it's like new car parts?
Yeah, new cars. Yeah, like I wouldn't bring any like old car.
How about
parts.
say? I was like, oh, that's like, crazy.
All the dirt and grime and stuff. No, I would never do that. It's just, I don't know. It's like one day I'll get to it. One day I'll put these parts on, make my car look nice, make my car a lot faster, things like that. But I keep putting it off because I don't know. I just making excuses. That is honestly just excuses. I have no reason why I haven't done those things that I know truly make me happy.
You just gotta do them.
Yeah.
I heard one thing that really touched me this week was someone said happiness is like a routine, and it's you putting a structure in your life to create it. You can't just wake up happy every day. You gotta create that happiness every day and put yourself in to play for that happiness each day.
I've never heard that, but that is a good way to live.
Yeah, because like I think it's dope that you repair cars and stuff. To me, that seems like a lot of hard work that I don't feel like doing.
It honestly is.
But at the same time, it's like it's what you like to do. Like it's dope.
Honestly, I mean, even outside of that, it's like, when people call me like, yo, I need advice on a car and stuff like that. It's like I like giving advice too. Like I like spreading my knowledge. It's like, if you can give me knowledge in a way that I can understand it, I'll love you forever. Honestly. And it's like, and I'll reciprocate. It's like, if I know something that you need help with and I can gladly give it to you, it's a good feeling, It's like reciprocating, give and take, like we were just talking about, earlier.
Yeah, that's very important. And just like, we're creating relationships now, like just figuring out like I took my first vacation 2 years ago. And I'm like 30, about to be 31. So it's never too late, is all I say. And I'll be honest, in my mind, when I took that first vacation, I got to pay all this money to do this, to have fun. I'm going to be mad because I'm going to be down like a couple, like a stack of money. I could use that money for something productive. And you know what? That was the most productive vacation I ever had in my life. You know why? Because it refueled me, it enabled me to do more work and to focus. I was able to recover. And a lot of times we be lying to ourselves like we're an expert of doing on something when we never done it ourselves.
Honestly.
So all I gotta say is take that vacation. Take the vacation.
Yeah, that's something I definitely struggle with. It's like I haven't been on vacation since I want to say 2014.
What year is it?
2014.
I mean, what year is it now?
Oh, 2023.
God dang. So that's like, how many years is that? 9?
9, yeah. So it's like, and it wasn't even really a vacation. It was just, I went down to see my cousin in West Virginia just to, see what it's like. Because the following year, me and the former significant other had moved down there,
Oh, wow.
And it was cool. But, that was the closest thing I took for a vacation. Other than that, it's like, all right, I got the holiday off because of, this day and things like that. Then, I'll drive in a nice hotel, things like that, just to get out of the area. But it's never to the point where it's like, if something was to happen, I can just get in my car and go right back and, not lose a wink of sleep over.
I feel you on that one. Like, you ever realize, like being, you get so much wisdom when you age and just be out here. You ever realize, like, you're going to spend the money anyway?
Honestly.
We be really lying to ourselves. I'm going to save this money. I'm going to save so much money.
You're really not.
Oh, my God.
You're really not. It's like, like right now I have some access money that I just, I'm like, yeah, I'm going to save this. No, guaranteed when I leave here, I'm probably going to get on Amazon and buy some stuff I don't need. Like, it just, and it's going to sit there. There's so much stuff in my apartment right now that literally just sits there because I thought it was cool.
And guess what? If you would have got that vacation,
honestly, like,
you would have at least bought some cool stuff from somewhere else.
Yeah, honestly, like right now I have an Oculus, what is it, the Oculus Quest?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I literally bought it because I want to play Beat Saber. I played Beat Saber once, put it back in the box, and it's been there ever since.
Wow. How much those things cost?
Like
500?
Like, what, 300?
Oh, only 300? That's not that bad.
I mean, it's not bad, but it's like, it's something I could have spent elsewhere. Like, I could have rented a hotel for like 2 nights, things like that, and had a good time somewhere.
I'm thinking about going to Hollywood, California this March, going to Nintendo World, and then going to do nightlife stuff in Hollywood.
That actually sounds like a lot of fun.
Yep, and guess what? That's how much the plane ticket costs to Cali.
But like 1,000?
Nah, like 300 something.
Oh, that ain't bad. Is that round trip or just
round trip, baby?
Oh, that's a steal. That is
so round trip over there. The worst I've seen it cost is like 500. Still cheap.
I mean, round trip, that is honestly really cheap.
And then, like, what else? And then, like, Nintendo World for, like, 2-3 days is, like, $150.
Like, just to what?
Universal Studios, period. You can get a whole pass for, like, $200.
That ain't bad. I mean...
Then you can find... So, I think what I'm going to try to do is talk to my aunt. See, connections, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think she got, like, timeshares or something. I got to check on that. So, I might be able to get timeshare over there.
I heard those were scams. That's something like, because I've been,
The thing about it is, timeshares aren't actually scams.
Really?
So what it is you get a group of people, right? And you all own these batches of property. and you literally say, hey, we'll share the profit from this. In addition to that, we pretty much, if you want to be there at a certain time, y'all let us know. Same thing with us. And pretty much it's just a bunch of strangers you put money together with.
One of my friends, like one of my childhood friends, his mom has a timeshare, and it's like every time she wants to utilize a timeshare, it's not available for use because this person's using it or that person. It's like year round somebody else is using it. It's like, you guys got a couple thousand of my dollars here, and I can't use what I invested in.
Yo, she needs to say something.
Yeah,
they're not reciprocating. Nah, man, but like, I know one big thing I wanted to touch on too is like, one part about the villain era is like just leveling up your personality. Like my whole life, I kind of thought I was an introvert, but really, this was why you gotta go get therapy, right? Yeah. When I was being myself, people often did not like that. You know what I'm saying? So it was a point where I was like, all right, well, I just don't feel like getting attention. So I was doing the opposite of attention seeking. What was that, like hiding in the shadows, I guess? Yeah. And like, you got to start realizing that it's only one of you in your life, and you need to be the best. You need to show that personality, because more people need to show who they are from their soul. That could really help somebody. Like, you could really touch and change someone's life.
Yeah. I'll admit, like, I remember, like, when we met in high school, you were just there, and I was like, yeah, I'm present. I'm just here now, so I don't get fired. It's like from then to, your unfortunate event with, who we won't.
That should not be named.
Yeah, that should not be named. To who you are now, I'm like, yo, this dude's a demon now.
I know, man.
I love that for him. I'm like, he's doing great.
Yeah, I'm a whole different person at this point in my life. I'm actually very social. It's everyone at my job was like, oh, man, you're like a social butterfly. I'm like, you would not have seen me 10 years ago. I was mean.
Yeah, I mean,
pretty angry. I just wanted to be like nonchalant and low key, because like that just would get you trouble. And we're from the spot. Like when you're from the hood,
yeah.
Like let's say even like if you feel like they feel like you flexing too much, that could be the end of your life.
Yeah, seriously, and it's so weird. It's like, yeah, like I don't know what it is about people from where we're from. Is like y'all get mad over like the silliest things, like, oh, because I ain't got what he got, so I'm gonna go take her, I'm gonna go take his life. Like I will never understand that, but it's not for me to understand, because it's not a life that I will ever live,
exactly. And that's why we gotta set boundaries and get out of those hoods.
Yeah.
And beyond, if I ever got like, once I get wealthy, I keep thinking about it, and everybody's like, man, you want the fame? I do not want the fame. You know why? Because I can't go nowhere to eat.
Yeah, that
people are killing these people who are going out places to eat that are just normal places because they want clout. Like, it's crazy. You can't be your 100% authentic self. That's one thing on your villain arc you gotta learn to be your 100% authentic self. Yeah, you might be good at painting. You don't really good at painting.
Yeah.
What are some things that you just realized you're pretty good at?
Yeah, or you just hide your talents because it's like, you think they won't be liked or things like that, or you think it won't be cool, won't be accepted. It's like, being you is never going to be corny. Being you is the best thing you can do. It's the coolest thing. And if people don't accept it, fuck them.
Exactly.
Fuck them. And it's okay to be yourself, You're not going to be liked by anybody, even the person that you're trying to be. No, not everyone's going to like that. So it's like, just be you.
Not everyone's supposed to like you either. Yeah. So you got to get that right. And just do what makes you happy. And don't wait on nobody, right?
Yeah.
Like, I seen that you went to New York for New Year's.
Yeah.
So who went with you?
Just a couple of my friends, it was pretty cool. We didn't do a whole bunch. We went to the thing. I don't know if you've seen that somebody got stabbed up there.
Oh, I haven't seen that part yet.
Yeah, apparently, when the ball dropped and everything was going off, like, apparently some dude was in there stabbing people. People just scared. It was something. It was something,
Dang, you can call outside. Oh, damn, ball dropped.
I got out. things like that.
But if your friend said, "Hey, we ain't going no more," would have still went?
Oh, absolutely. I'm not gonna sit here and wait for anybody. Like I'm gonna have fun. I've spent too much time, too many years waiting for other people when I could just do it myself.
Like how so many podcasts fail because we're on the other friend to help with the episode and they never show up.
I mean, like, you can run a podcast, so if you want to, it's like, you talk about a topic, you
exactly.
That's all it is. If you don't need a guest host every time,
You don't.
Yeah, I mean, and if it's a good podcast, people are gonna watch. But it's like, and that's
yeah. You gotta stop waiting for other people and just do it anyway. That's the point I'm trying to make here.
Get up and get it done.
And like, all right, let's say you want to go on a trip. Just go yourself.
Yeah.
You want to get a house, but you want your friends to put in money with you, and they might be bad at saving. So guess what you got to do? At the end of the day, it's great that if they do help and be on that journey. But if they can't, guess what you got to do?
You got to do it yourself.
Exactly. So it's also about being accountable for yourself and just doing it anyway, no matter what. Don't let other people become your excuse. Just get it done, man. Be on demon time, man, and get it done no matter what.
And you'll be happy. Genuinely
exactly.
Happy. I mean, there's a special sense of gratification when you get something done yourself and you did not get no help from nobody. Like, all the posts you see about, I did this and this, that could be you. That could be you. Instead of hating, because we know that's what you're doing, because, you had to ask somebody for help and stuff. But it's like, that could be you.
You know what's crazy about haters? That be like, oh, man, no one helped me.
Yeah.
Yo, we did it by ourselves. The fact is, like, people gonna help you once they see you winning, too.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, I think especially because of COVID, everybody got so cozy in their comfort zone. That's why it's been so easy. Yo, I haven't told nobody this, right? So one of the festival spots I'm working with, they have a waiting list for people to get into these festivals to be food festival vendors, and you can make $1,000 within 2 days.
Yeah.
So how I got a spot during COVID. These entrepreneurs, right? They're all these gig workers. They enjoyed the PUA money, and what they did was they stopped going to the festivals because they're getting mad bread.
Mm-hmm.
So what happened is so many people lost their spot in this festival chain, and they have contracts for all the Xfinity Live centers in the States. So we pretty much go up and down the East Coast all year, like all warm weather year round, pretty much from spring to like the coldest we get in winter, the least coldest we get in winter around like October, December-ish.
Yeah.
And it's great. It's a great opportunity. But that's what happens. Like, yo, you just gotta put yourself out there.
Yeah. Like, I will say this. When you invited me to the Taco Fest at the Xfinity Live, and it's like, I was literally coming to just hang out, just to experience it.
Mm-hmm.
I had zero plans on, actually selling some hot sauce, but I had so much fun doing it the entire time. It was like all the faces, all the people, and it's like you got people challenging you to hot sauce and stuff. It's like, I ain't backing down from nobody. You trying the wrong one. I'm gonna do it. It was like it was so much fun. I had a smile on my face the entire time.
Yeah, it's just like you put yourself out there.
Yeah, it's like I'm typically never that explosive. It's like, I put myself out there enough, at work, just so, I get to sell, I make you feel good, things like that. But it's like, I barely knew who that was, because I haven't known that person in such a long time.
Exactly. And it's dope. Like, what types of people are there?
Yeah.
It's all types of people.
Honestly, it was so great just seeing, like, everybody just having a good time. It's like, you see people coming with these funky clothes, and it's like, yo, that looks pretty dope. Or just the attitudes they carry. Like, they're in such high spirits. They're happy to be there, happy to be alive. And it's like, if I could be around that type of energy 24/7, I wouldn't have a single complaint in the world, Because it just, like, you literally get up knowing you're going to have a good day. Even, like, granted, it's not fully because it is, like, the people that's around you.
Yeah.
So that's the only downside is, like, there's a little bit of false sense of gratification. But, I mean,
I wouldn't know, to be honest, like, with festival cooking, I had zero experience when I went into it.
That is, that I do understand. It's like, because you just came out of nowhere. It's like, yo, I'm going to start selling hot sauce. And like,
And then it was like, I'm going to start cooking food.
yeah.
And you see what it looked like. You just throwing yourself out there and figuring it out.
It was like, yeah, make some chicken wings. I'm like, all right, these are pretty fucking good. I'm like, hey.
And guess what, guys? Those are vegan chicken wings.
Yeah,
Meaning,
honestly.
actually, it's not plant-based chicken material. A vegan cooked it. So
Yeah.
get on that grind. I remember somebody was like, this girl I was messing with, she was like, yo, I don't think you should cook meat because you don't eat meat. And ever since, like, it don't matter because we end up cooking meat and we made some great money cooking meat. And if I knew me as a person, like, we just started putting ourselves out there. We were like, oh, we'll figure it out on the way there. And we our first festival, we just had a table and a tent.
Yeah.
And 2 grills. We had no decorations whatsoever. So, guys, just say it. Just put yourself out there. Any times you put yourself out there, Dave?
Oh, not too often. I mean, it's like, when the time arises, I will put myself out there. It's like you said, in the COVID bubble and everything like that, gotten codes and stuff like that. Granted, I never fully was like, got hit by the whole COVID situation because I still had to get up, go to work, stuff like that. It's like, yeah, the world's sick right now, but people still driving their cars. They still got to get fixed. So it's like, never got affected by the, the COVID bubble. But it's like, I've never was one to like fully put myself out there, I just wanted to be like you. I wanted to be kind of in the shadows, just there.
Yeah, just there, like, because it's least people bother when you're there.
Yeah.
But like, be honest, like, even when you were in the shadow, someone gonna think you mean. They gonna like, oh well, that person seem bougie, or they're not approachable.
Honestly,
it's like they're still gonna make up something.
Honestly, a lot of people thought that in high school because it's like, because if you knew me, you knew my brother. We were polar opposites. Like, I stayed by myself. My brother was literally the life of the party. Everybody knew Taj. Everybody had to know Taj. Everybody had to deal with Taj and stuff like that. But if have you seen my brother? They thought I had an attitude. It's like, I just come and say, hey, did you anything? It's like, come. I'm like, dude, have you seen my brother?
Yeah, that's
like that.
That's the question. Yeah, like, it just, you always seem like you the villain in someone else's eyes. No matter what. So you might as well have a good time, is what I'm getting at with this, pretty much with this episode. If you're going to be the villain, if you're going to stick your, if you're just going to, like, make life better for yourself, and some people are not going to like it no matter what. Have you ever been called, like, egotistical if you're confident yet?
Very much so. Granted, it's kind of justified. It's like, if I get on my shit, I'm... the ego does kind of come out. So I will say, I'm guilty of that. Mm-hmm. So it's like, I feel like in that moment, if my ego comes out, I feel like I deserve to, give it. I deserve to have that ego for that time because something happened, or, you're
proud of yourself, right?
I'm proud, and I want to show this off,
Yeah, like, as you should be though. Like, but some people will take it as, oh, egotistical. But I'll be like, oh, he happy about what just happened in his life. Yeah, it's like, man, if you just made a deal and got your own garage or something like that, or start making $250,000 like every quarter of this year, and you just like, yeah, man, I'm doing this. Some people are gonna be like, oh, this bull just bragging. Yeah, it's like, it's not bragging. If like it's really not bragging in the long run. You can call it flexing, you can call it ego. It's not bragging, especially because you got it out the mud. You did what you had to do, and it's like, don't get me wrong. I've known, in the mud. There's times where cable wasn't known because it wasn't because the global cable was out. We just didn't have that fucking cable. I know homelessness genuinely. Yeah, like I genuinely know that. Having to live with my grandma for a couple months because my mom just didn't have it. So I know the struggle for real. Yeah. And it's, we made it out, and I was proud of her for that. I did what I had to do to, and then when I got to a point where I was old enough to make things happen, best believe I did things that, to help as much as I can. Like when my mom didn't have a car, I went out and brought her. When, food wasn't in the crib, I made sure I went to go get it. It's things like that. And it's never a flex. It's just,
you got out the mud, you made it out, and you're looking out for the people that, looked out for you.
They're just hoping they receive it, and they're like, hey, like, you gotta like just hope they receive it in a good way, where it can benefit them. But most of the times, like, it's a defense mechanism, and they're gonna be like, oh well, that's just for him.
No.
Or the fact that you win and they had the same opportunity, it's gonna look bad on them because someone's gonna be like, yo, David do auto body too, and look at him, he managing his own auto body shop. And you quit. Like, what happened? What made you quit? Like, you didn't want to do that? And they probably be like, well, he different. He had to kiss up to the boss. He bougie anyway. I had to be real. I had to be real at work.
Nah, I mean,
so I couldn't work there because I couldn't be real.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, granted, you're supposed to like your job. You're supposed to enjoy it and stuff. But it's like, it falls back into that doing what you got to do, So, I mean, granted, I didn't kiss nobody's behind to get where I got. I worked and worked and worked into the point where, honestly, I got tired of, turning wrenches for, to make my money instead of enjoying it because it was a hobby. That's one thing I will say. Never make your hobby your career because you will hate it forever. And it was, I didn't want to be in that position where I hated turning wrenches because it was like, that's truly my passion. But it's like, I still wanted to be in the field where it's like, I'm still around cars because, again, it's my passion. So it's like, I went for the management position. I walked up, I was like, hey, I already know y'all looking for somebody. I'm here. I've been a manager before. I got what it takes. They gave me a shot, and I literally made that store $1.2 million with 2 guys.
And you made it happen, though.
Yeah, and it just, I was only like the manager 9 months at that point because the person who, just wasn't doing a good job. It was like, I kicked into high gear and, I made it happen. So it's, granted, that's a huge surprise. That's where my where I say the ego is justified. That's kind of where I feel like it's justified because, like, I made it happen.
But at the same time, like, you did what was right for you.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, becoming management is like, honestly, probably one of the better decisions that I made in life because, I'm granted there are people over me. I'll give you that much, but it's like, I don't have someone literally with their foot in my, my what
all day.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's dope being like in charge or being more so at a desk position and management position when it comes to people.
Yeah.
I don't know, we getting a little old, man. I don't know if I can do all the hard labor and then expect to go home and do fun stuff. I gotta take naps, man.
It definitely is exhausting doing that because it's like, I mean, turning wrenches gets tiresome, especially on like some cars. Is like especially when the car's not taken care of. It's like, I really don't work on stuff because it's going to be a chore. But it's like, I'm going to do it because I know what it's like to have my stuff broke down. It's like, all right, you're in a position to fix it. I'm going to make sure it gets fixed for you because that's my job. But
yeah.
Like, I mean, it's definitely a chore. But manual labor, it's like, I miss it. I just, from that standpoint, I kind of do. But at the same time, I don't. So I'm on the fence about it. I've thought about going back, but it's like,
nah, I wouldn't go back. Usually when you think about going back, you're going back, you just be mad at yourself and you're like, yo, this joint sucked.
It did.
I remember I went back, I was helping out on the operations floor at my job instead of being human resources. And I'm like, yo, I really used to do this. I'm like, this really sucks. Everyone has a bad attitude. I'm like, man, at least you guys getting paid. And it's just, I know why I go back and I just realized why I left in the first place.
Honestly. And that's another thing I will say. It was like, when I was actually, turning wrenches to make ends meet, I was angry all the time. I was just angry all the time. It's like, ever since leaving that position and moving to a different position altogether, I'm hardly angry. I may get flustered, with employees, a customer who doesn't quite understand, even though explain to them, they get mad for no reason or they're not getting it. I'll get flustered, but I don't get to the point where it's like I'm angry or I'm going home brooding.
Exactly.
I can still keep a positive mindset, when I walk out that building at the end of the day. When I was turning wrenches, I can't recall a time I made it home in a good mood. I just can't.
I won't lie, man. Every day I seen your hands, it was real dirty.
Yeah, I mean that's another thing. It was like calloused hands, dirt under my nails and stuff like that. It's like, granted, I got a sense of pride from that too, because it was like I'm out here doing what I gotta do. I'm making this money and things like that. But it was like that stuff gets exhausting too. It's like you have so much more to clean when your hands are dirty. It's like if you may not even realize you got some dirt on your arm, stuff like that from working on cars. You make it home. Crap, I gotta wash this off somewhere. Now your tub's partially black. Cause there's a lot more dirt under there than
the dirt gotta go somewhere. You gotta remember the dirt gotta go somewhere. I was like, man, it must suck to try to make a sandwich or something. First time when you get home, man, you gotta really go ham, all that oil. I'm like, man.
That's something you honestly get accustomed to. It's like nobody talks about it, but it's like you won't believe how many mechanics actually, their hands aren't 100% clean. They're still gonna eat their sandwich in the end of the day. Grease, oil, it really don't matter. They still gonna eat. It's something that you get accustomed to. You don't even care that it's risky.
Damn.
You really don't care that it's risky. You don't care about the health elements that can come behind that little bit of oil on your hand.
Well, it's awesome to hear your story. We're gonna wrap up soon, but what's some keynotes from your story, Dave, that you wish the audience could just take notes on?
Do what makes you happy. I can't stress this enough. Do what makes you happy. Don't get up and be miserable. Because it brings you down. You're no longer motivated. You start to hate life, and life's too short to hate life.
Exactly.
It's truly too short to hate life. We want to enjoy every moment of it. And it's so crucial that, I can't really put it into words. And I'm speaking from personal experience, because I genuinely used to hate life. I used to hate waking up every day.
But what did you change?
I don't know. Besides, my man's position, my attitude towards people pleasing. It's just, I guess the little simple things,
But you stop people pleasing?
Honestly. I was when you think about it, that's probably the biggest, thing that started making me happy is like my I can do without you attitude. That's, because I'm happier now from it. You can't get in my way. You can't stop me from shining. You can't.
That's true.
You can't, put me down or, make me feel terrible or things like that. It's the little things from that aspect. But, like I said, don't waste your time being angry. Wake up, do the best you can. You may falter, you may fall, you may slip. But get back up. Be the best you. 100% be the best you. And a side note, I know I'm running this a little long. For y'all that's finna try to buy a car around, do not buy a car around this time. Seriously. I honestly was thinking about this on my way here. I was like, I'm gonna say something about this. Do not buy a car during tax time. You're spending way too much money on a car that, was $1,400 last month.
Oh my God.
They know you got it. That's why the price is so high. Wait it out. When is tax time? In April 1st?
Tax time. That's the end of the tax time.
Yeah.
So you should be getting your taxes around like February, the end of February, like March.
Yeah, it was like, wait it out. Wait till them prices come back down. That way you not waste your money, because I guarantee you have no idea how many cars come in my job. I spent $4,000. Like today, I had some guy come in with Ford Taurus, and he was like, yeah, I just want this car looked at. I just spent $4,000 on it. Car needs like $7,000 worth of work, and he can't get in touch with the guy. So it's like,
yo, that guy was out.
Yeah.
They be like, they really be shady, especially in the Philly area.
Yeah, seriously. Like, I remember when I first started working at the Mining King West Philly, there was this guy. He brought a Jeep from this dude at AutoZone, and that same night, the guy went back and killed the guy and took his money back.
What?
Yeah. And he was proud of it. He was saying it like it was no big deal. And we're sitting there like, what? It's like, so you brought the Jeep, then you killed the guy and took your money back. Granted, he got arrested shortly after. I have nothing to do with that. I ain't no snitch. I don't know.
Oh yeah. All right. So you didn't snitch.
Nah, I ain't snitch on it. But Yeah, it's wild to see. The Philly's a scary place in the long run. I ain't gonna sit here and cut.
Well, that's actually better advice and better than I could ever do because honestly, get your car, get it. How I feel right now, if you want a car, like honestly, leasing is not a bad idea. I keep thinking about it, and I wish I'd leased the car. Cause all due respect, by the time I pay off the car, I probably want another car.
Honestly.
So you might as well lease the car and then give a car back when you need to and get a new car.
Yeah.
With that end, stay medium ghetto. Never go 100% ghetto.
All right. Thank you for your time. Love you guys. Stay up.
All right, man.
All right.
Peace out.
It's medium ghetto when we think you watching for listening, viewing, and tuning on in. Joining the laughter, that faction for summers to cap. We can't wait till we do it again. You know we love you and we gonna see you next time again. Thank you for joining the gang. If they ask about us, don't fret. Just tell them we medium ghetto. It's all in the name. Yeah.